is up, you guys? It's your girl Kim, and I'm here today with a devotional Bible study video. I'm home alone. Corey is not here. He is at work. He works late, so he's not going to be in this video. He'll probably be in the next video. I don't know. He always working, y'all. So I know y'all love y'all some Corey, but he not going to be in this video. It's just me, Chance, and little Sinai. The Bible says to share the Lord's word, to shout it from nation to nation. So me reading it in private is completely going against that. So I'm here to share with you guys what I've been reading and everything that I've been learning. So stay tuned. I'm just going to go ahead and share with you guys what I've been reading. So I've been reading this devotional. I'm already a few days in. I just wanted to kind of catch you guys up, and I want to share tonight's devotional with you guys. The topic is, what does it mean to worship? So we're going to get into that. We're going to focus on what it means to worship. So it's a lot of different ways we can worship. We worship God through music. We worship God through alone time. We worship God through prayer. We worship God at church service. I have a planner here that I usually just write and take notes in. So I have my devotional that I'm going to be going over tonight written down for you guys and for myself. So I'm just going to be flipping through what I've written down. So don't mind me if I'm not looking at the camera, because I'm going to be looking at my notes a lot. So just follow along with me, guys. So to get started, what does it mean to worship? So it starts off with a quote that says, "Never be afraid to trust an unknown future to a known God." We trust so many things every single day of our lives. We trust that the chair we sit in isn't going to break. We trust that the food we eat isn't going to make us sick. We trust that it's going to be good. We trust that our internet is going to have a strong connection and allow us to surf the web and use our phones. So we know how to trust. Placing our trust in things we can see appears to be a relatively easy task for us. We just don't always place our trust in the right things. What if instead of placing our trust in ourselves or in something temporary, it became second nature for us to trust God in that way? Choosing to trust God as our first instinct rather than our last option invites deep spiritual growth in us. Think of how peaceful our lives would be if this was our reality. On the day we don't get the job we interviewed for, instead of believing that nothing good will ever happen for us, we choose to trust that He is good and He wants the best for us. When we feel overwhelmed with defeat and discouragement, instead of sinking further down into a hopeless abyss, we choose to trust that God is for us and the healer of the brokenhearted. So how do we get to that place of trusting God wholeheartedly? It's very simple, guys. We get to that place by getting to know Him. One day in church, my pastor said something that stuck out to me, and it made a lot of sense. He said that only a fool puts complete trust in someone or something they aren't familiar with. So if you don't know the Lord, you can't trust Him. You have to try Him over and over and over again. The way we get to know Him is by spending time with Him, reading His Word, surrounding ourselves with Christ-like-minded people, immersing ourselves in His truth. The more we learn of His character, His ways, His plans and love for us, the easier it is for us to trust Him. So the more we bask in His Word, the more we sit down and we study and we take note on what it is that God likes, what it is that God dislikes, what it is that God wants, what it is that God doesn't want. This is how we build a relationship with Him. And once we build that up so much, we become confident in our relationship with Him. So by knowing all of these things, by figuring Him out like this, by taking the time out to study Him, to know Him, and to know what it is that he expects, to know what it is that he approves of, to know what it is that hurts him, to know what it is that makes him happy. By doing all of these things, when bad things come our way, it's easy for us to trust him. It's easy for us to say, okay, I know that God is I know that God is mighty. I know that God is powerful. I know that God will not forsake me. I know that God will never leave me. I know that God is not doing this to harm me, to shame me, to hurt me. When you know these things about God, you let whatever is happening, you let it happen. You don't try to take control. You don't try to change it. You let it be because it's God. And you can't take away from his doing. So it's very important to get to understand him, because if you don't know what he wants and if you don't know who he is, confusion will deceive you. You would think that you have the authority to change your situation. You'll think that you have the power to make things happen that really aren't meant to be. So by knowing God, knowing who he is, knowing that he is the ruler of all things, you kind of become humble. You kind of become subtle. You kind of just find it more and more easy to cast all of your worries on him, because as people and as humans, it's very easy for us to want to control our lives, especially when God isn't the center. We want to plan everything. We want to have control over everything. We want to know what's happening. We want to know how it's happening. We just want. That's not our job. That is not our job. It's God's job. And nobody can do the Lord's work. So you just have to figure him out. You have to just when you read the word, you have to dissect the word, because the word is God. The word is God. The word is love. The word is truth. The word is peace. The word is the solution to all your problems. And all of those things make up who he is. So when you're reading that word, you're learning him. So it's very important to figure out and try to understand who he is. Trust and faith actually go hand in hand and are often considered to be synonymous. The author of Hebrews writes that without faith, it is impossible to please God. When we walk in faith and choose to trust God despite what every voice around us is declaring, we please God. This just might be the simplest way you can worship him. So, like I said, by walking in faith, and when a situation arises and plays out in a way that you did not expect, it's not for you to make it go the way that you want it to go. It's for you to be still, and it's for you to remember that God is in control. It's very important for you to know that this situation didn't work out, not because I'm not worthy, not because I'm not worth it, not because, I didn't qualify, or because I'm not good enough. The situation didn't work out because God didn't want it to. God has better. And also, God has a plan for your life. So if he's not allowing something to be, it could even be because it's not your timing. It could be because that's not what he wants for you at this moment. He might want you to go in a different direction, so he's closing that door. He's rejecting you from what it is that you're trying to pursue. So you have to let that be. And you have to walk in faith and say, okay, it's something greater out there. It's something better out there. And when you do that, God will surely lead you in that direction. And he will surely bless you with something that you didn't even know that you wanted, with something that you didn't even know that you needed. While you sitting here, throwing a fit over what you wanted and what you thought was going to be good for you, you don't even know that you probably just saved yourself a headache. You probably just saved yourself stress. You probably just saved yourself from bad people and energy and all types of situations from entering your life. And it's just amazing what God can do. And a lot of times we have to really believe and really know that it's for the better good. Because God isn't here to just give us what we want. God isn't just this secret Santa Claus that, when you want something, you're like, oh, I want this. I'm going to get it. It's for me. It's mine. And then you prepare, you work hard, you study, you invest, you do all of these things, and you still don't get what you want. What did that tell you? What did that tell you? You still gonna force it? See, the people that force it, they end up in debt somewhere. They end up somewhere unhappy. They end up somewhere with the opposite of everything that they wanted for themselves by chasing something that was not for them. And God lets it happen just to show you that He is in control. So you just have to look out for the signs. When you are faced with the option to doubt God's goodness or plans, verbalize to Him that you are choosing to trust Him even though you may not feel like it. I've been turned away from job interviews. I've dressed up. I fit the description. I put on my best clothes. I have a beautiful resume. I have a wonderful resume. I'm very intelligent. I'm very intellectual. And when I go into these interviews for these above average jobs that I know deep down inside I can get, that I know and that I feel that I deserve, and when I go in there and when I meet with these managers and when I meet with these corporate people, I just feel so confident. I feel like I'm about to just elevate my life. I'm about to boss up. I feel like, yes, this is it. This is for me. And I go home feeling good. I pray on it. And days go by. Weeks go by. I'm checking my email. I'm being patient. And I don't hear back from these jobs and these people. I have to realize that it's just not for me. It's very discouraging. I mean, don't get me wrong, it is discouraging to want something so bad and to feel like you deserve something and to know you can do something just for it not to get accomplished. For what? You put in the work. You know that you put in the work. You know that you have the capabilities. You know that you qualify. So why didn't you get what you wanted? Why was it so hard for you to get what you wanted? Why was it so hard for you to accomplish your goals? And it took some humbling and it took some reading in my word to finally understand that a lot of times I don't get what I want because God has better for me. So I've learned that. And it's even as simple as trusting Him in the aspects of knowing that He's just always there with you. So for example, so with Corey working late nights, I had to take the dog out. So Chance usually eats dinner around 6:37 p.m. And I always try to walk him at least 3 to 4 hours after he eats. So at nighttime, of course, I'm not gonna let it get too late. So 3 hours after 7 is 10 p.m., 9:30 p.m. So I'm outside at these late night hours. Sometimes I get off track, and sometimes it even gets late as 11 o'clock, and I'm out there walking my dog. So 11, 10:30, 10 o'clock at night. I've been doing good lately, though, because I've been taking him at 9:30. But the fact is that it's still dark. It's still scary. We just moved, so I really don't know this complex or this neighborhood too much. And, like, where we live, it's a lake behind our complex. So, of course, with a lake comes, like, big fields and, like, it's kind of like a forest setup. It's, like, a lot of trees and a lot of space and then the lake. So, you know, I have to walk past these different fields and, you know, each complex has, like, an open space. And it's very dark at night. So, I'm walking and, you know, I have my phone flashlight on and I got my worship music playing. I'm walking my dog and I'm just praying. And I'm just hoping and knowing that if anything was to happen to me, that God is with me. And I know that I'm covered and I know that I'm protected and I'm trusting that I'm going to be okay. And this is how I feel every night. I get anxiety walking him, but I know that I have to walk my dog. So I get up at 10:30. I get up at 10. I get up at 9:30 and I walk him. And these are prayer walks, basically, because I'm praying the whole time like, Lord, please cover me, Lord. Please don't let another dog come out from behind these bushes, or Don't let a wolf or a raccoon or don't let nothing get us, basically. So I'm praying the whole time. I'm hoping and I'm trusting that I'm going to make it back to my house. You know, I try to get him to pee and I try to get him to poop and I call it a night. And sometimes he takes a long time to go potty. So it's times where I'm just out there and I'm just nervous and I'm just scared. But I trust that God is with me. I trust that, you know, God knows I have a responsibility. God knows that I'm not out here trying to cause any harm or hurt anybody. So I know that I'm covered. I know that I'm going to be okay. Because you never know. You never know. I don't know the different people around here. You know, the different people coming in and out of their complexes. Anything can happen to me. So I'm always constantly praying over the protection of me and my dog and just trusting that God has us and that he'll allow us to make it back home safely, unharmed, untouched. So it's as simple as having faith in situations like those. And I keep my faith up. I keep my faith up because it's the little things that you have to be faithful about. So I have a few scriptures that go hand in hand with this devotional. And one of those scriptures are from Psalms 9, verse 10. And they that know thy name will put their trust in thee. For thou, Lord, has not forsaken them that seek thee. This is just saying that when you know the Lord, you know that nothing is going to happen to you. You know that he won't forsake you. You know that as his child, he will protect you like a father, like a parent. Hey, stop it. He has all of this power. He's done all of these mighty things. How can you not put your faith in him? Who else are you going to put your faith in? Who else is it there for you to put your faith in? Knowing that he's done all these mighty things, knowing that he possesses all of this power, who else do you call on? Who else do you believe in? So, like I said, when I'm walking my dog, I know that he has me covered to and from. When I'm going to the store, I know that he's another pair of hands on my steering wheel and that he's going to cover me and protect me during my car ride to and from. I know that everywhere I go and everything I do, that he is there and that he is always with me. So the next scripture is from Proverbs 3, verses 5 through 6. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not unto thy own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. So, y'all know that life be throwing us these curveballs or whatever life be doing. Y'all know how life be. And when this happens, you know, sometimes you question, you say, why? Why is my life going like this? Why am I suffering? Why did I lose my job? Why did this happen? Why did that happen? Why? You're asking why, but God is never going to answer that. Nobody's ever going to sit down and tell you why these things are happening. And he already knows what you're going through. So just share with him that, you know, the things that he's putting you through, although you feel overwhelmed, confess to him that you trust him. Confess to him that you accept what he's doing in your life, and you know that it is for the better good. You know that it is to shape you, and you know that it is for growth. And you pray that he lifts you from this situation. You pray that he helps you get out of this situation. You pray that he blesses you. That's what you do when hard times come. You come to God and you confess to him that you know what he's doing in your life, that you know that he's working in your life. And you pray for guidance, and you pray for the strength to overcome. And you pray for the strength to see better days. And I guarantee you God will bless you, and God will lift you out of your situation so quick. And the last scripture is from Hebrews 11, verse 6. Hebrews, yeah. Hebrews. Y'all, I don't know what Hebrews is. I don't know where Hebrews is. I really don't know what Hebrews is. Hold on. I'm happy they got this table of contents for people like me. But without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. So, you guys, I'm telling y'all, do not allow your problems to consume you. Do not allow your problems to make you feel that you have to find solutions to them, because you don't. You know, God isn't here to save us from everything that we go through. The Lord wants to test us to see how we're going to endure those situations. The Lord is going to test us to see if we're children of him in those situations. If you don't have faith through these situations, you are failing him. If you're going through these situations angry, if you're going through these situations feeling like you want to kill yourself because it's just too much, or if you're going through these situations just feeling like it's the end of the world, not knowing that it's better days to come, you are failing the Lord. You go through these situations with your head up. You go through these situations with your heart strong. And you go through these situations as humble as possible. Fleshly emotion during these times are a no. Anger, resentment, evil thoughts, evil plots, all these things that you think will help you get out of what you're going through, you want to take the easy way out to end your suffering, you're cheating, you're failing God. So those that keep their faith, those that know that things will get better, those that's praying every night through these hard trials and tribulations, God is like, I'm going to bless you. When this is done and over with, I'm going to bless you because you kept my word. You stayed faithful. You stayed true, and you put your trust in me. And that is all he wants. And it's easier said than done because life be hard. But I promise y'all, if y'all just stay strong, because the enemy wants you to fold. The enemy wants you to cry. And it's okay to cry. It's okay to cry, but the enemy wants you to cry, and he wants those tears to turn into anger, and he wants that anger to turn into evil doings. And once you get so angry inside, you become bitter. You lose your confidence. You lose your faith. And as soon as you lose your faith, the enemy got you. So we cannot give him that satisfaction, you guys. We have to stay strong and trust in the Lord. And that is how you worship God. That is how you truly, honestly worship God. Thank you guys for staying tuned. I'll be back with another video. And I love you guys. Stay blessed. Stay prayed up. And love each other.